If you're someone who's been watching the price of everything go up while your Social Security check stays about the same, you're not alone. Inflation has hit hard, especially for seniors living on a fixed income. You've probably noticed that your groceries cost more, your utilities are rising, and if you rent, the increases can feel like they never stop. For millions of retired Americans, every dollar counts, and when you're stretching every penny just to get by, even a small amount of extra help can make a huge difference. That's exactly why there's been growing talk about a new proposal, a one-time $495 Social Security stimulus payment. This idea is being pushed by a group called the Senior Citizens League, also known as TSCL. They're a respected non-partisan advocacy group that fights for the rights and well-being of older Americans. Their mission is simple: protect the benefits you've earned after years of hard work, and make sure lawmakers are paying attention to the real-life struggles faced by Social Security recipients. So what is this $495 payment? Who would get it? Is it actually likely to happen? And why is this amount important now, more than ever? That's what we're going to cover in this video. If you or someone you love is retired or on disability, you'll want to stick with me because this proposal could be a game changer and it sheds light on the bigger problems facing our Social Security system. Let's start with what the proposal actually is. The Senior Citizens League is asking Congress to approve a one-time emergency stimulus check of $495. This payment would go directly to eligible Social Security recipients, including retirees, disabled individuals, survivors, and others who rely on monthly Social Security benefits to survive. The money wouldn't be a loan. It wouldn't need to be paid back. It wouldn't affect your monthly check or reduce future benefits. It would simply be a one-time, lump sum payment meant to provide immediate relief. Now, you might be wondering why $495? Why not $600 or $1,200 like past stimulus checks? Well, the amount is based on a few calculations. TSCL looked at the impact of higher than expected inflation on the typical Social Security recipient over the past couple of years. They estimate that the COLA or cost of living adjustments haven't kept up with the actual rising costs faced by older Americans. While COLAs are supposed to help benefits rise with inflation, the way the government calculates them has some serious flaws. It's based on the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, or CPIW, which doesn't accurately reflect the spending patterns of retirees. Think about it: if you're 70, you're probably not commuting to work or buying work clothes, which are included in the CPIW. But you are spending a lot more on healthcare, prescription medications, housing, and food, which are often rising faster than the general inflation rate. So even though Social Security benefits technically get an annual increase, that increase hasn't kept up with reality. According to TSCL's research, the average Social Security recipient has lost about $1,054 in buying power just in the past couple of years. That's why they're saying a $495 payment would help make up for some of that loss. It won't solve the problem, but it can help ease the pressure. That extra money could cover a couple of months of groceries. It might pay for a utility bill during the winter or summer when energy use spikes. It might be enough to finally fill a prescription or visit the doctor you've been putting off because of the cost. Now let's talk about who would get this payment if it became reality. According to the proposal, this $495 check would be for all Social Security beneficiaries. That includes people receiving retirement benefits, disability benefits under SSDI, survivor benefits, and even those on Supplemental Security Income, SSI. In short, anyone who relies on the Social Security Administration for their monthly income would qualify. It's important to note, this payment wouldn't be taxed, and it wouldn't affect eligibility for other benefit programs like SNAP, Medicaid, or housing assistance. TSCL is pushing for this payment to be exempt from income limits and asset tests, because they know how quickly a one-time payment can disqualify low-income people from benefits they need just to get by. That means if Congress follows TSCL's recommendations, this would be a clean, direct cash payment. But now comes the big question: is this going to happen? As of right now, this $495 proposal is just that, a proposal. TSCL has sent letters to Congress, urged their supporters to sign petitions, and they're pushing lawmakers to take action. But for it to actually happen, Congress would have to introduce a bill, pass it through both the House and Senate, and get it signed by the President. That's a long process, and right now, there's no bill officially introduced that guarantees this payment. Still, there's reason to pay attention. Lawmakers are under pressure to do something about the rising cost of living for seniors. More and more voters are aging into retirement, and they're speaking out. The 2025 presidential election is on the horizon, and Social Security is one of the biggest issues for voters over 60. In fact, multiple surveys show that over 70% of older Americans believe the government isn't doing enough to protect and support Social Security recipients. And here's another twist: the Social Security Trust Fund is projected to run low on funds within the next decade unless something changes. Lawmakers know that if they don't act soon, there could be automatic benefit cuts. That's a huge political risk, and it's part of why both Republicans and Democrats are finally starting to talk seriously about reforms. Thanks for watching.